Assalamualaikum. Good day to everyone, most especially to our professor, Jacqueline Macahis. We are the Group C, and our topic is all about the Frymier-Hawn Approach. We divide the topic. First is the introduction, to be presented by yours truly, Hannah M. Alibo. Next is the timely reminders given by Frymier-Hawn, to be presented by Girly O. Shelsa, followed by the framework to be presented by Christian Marquez. Next is the organizational scheme to be presented by General John Dimapitan. And finally, the aspect of the policy statement and the fundamental ideas of each concept to be presented by Marisa Torres and Ethel Joy Advincula. According to Jack R. Frymier and Horace C. Hawn in their book Curriculum Improvement for Better Schools 1970, the persons responsible for curriculum development in local schools can and must assume primary responsibility for initiating and continuing curriculum improvement efforts in their school. Some changes in the curriculum had been made in order to upgrade the content or subject matter. It is to help to ensure that education remains relevant and delivers the required results. Modify the organizational components of education. It allows teachers to create a framework for what they want their students to learn and how they should go about doing so. Without structure, it will be nearly impossible for educators to get through the day-to-day tasks that are required of them. Next is focus upon the methodological aspects of education. Methodology in education often indicates the techniques, methods, and approaches used in the teaching and learning process. It essentially forms the backbone of the education system, dictating how knowledge is disseminated and assimilated among learners. Improve teacher preparation programs, in-service education endeavors, and teacher certification requirements. This is to enhance the teaching quality, validating the competencies of educators, thereby directly contributing to improve students' outcome. The two authors contend that persons at the local level often do not perceive that the local district either can or should serve as the driving force and organizing center for curriculum ventures of all kinds. They also express the belief that unless local instructional leaders use evaluative techniques to determine the effectiveness of all kinds of innovations, the curricula for young people will probably become more uniform but less effective. Evaluative techniques refers to systematic methodologies for assessing the relative efficacy of various teaching methods, curricula, and educational programs. Without evaluative techniques, there is a risk that instructional leaders may push forward with curricula that are uniform and standardized but less effective in fostering student learning. Evaluative techniques assist in securing also resources.
Good day everyone, especially to our professor, Ma'am Jacqueline Macahis. I am Girly O. Shelsa, your presenter. My topic is the continuation of the report of Ma'am Hannah Alibo. Frymier-Hawn approach is similar to alternative model. So what is alternative model? Alternative models prioritize students' needs and interest, shifting the focus from a teacher-centered approach to a student-centric one. Students are actively engaged in the learning process, making choices, setting goals, and taking ownership of their educational journey. So, kailangan talaga na maging doon tayo mag-concentrate sa needs ng ating mga learners at hindi tayo magiging teacher-centered. And this is described by Donald T. Campbell and Julian C. Stanley in 1963, who maintained that experimentation in schools must be conducted by the regular staff of the schools concerned, whatever possible, especially when the findings are to be generalized to other classroom situations. In the essence, their approach involves using curriculum evaluation and curriculum research as a vehicle for deliberate, thoughtful curriculum change. Change is a constant law of nature. It always brings improvement. It always occurs continuously. Technological advancement and explosion of knowledge is the basic reason of varying style of change. Change is an ongoing, almost unconscious process that involves reworking familiar elements into new relationship. Curriculum improvement requires curriculum change. Change should be upon good information. Having knowledge about a great variety of subjects, it seems to be well-informed person possessing reliable information on a particular subject. Good relationships. A healthy relationships involve honesty, trust, respect, and open communication between partners, and they take effort and compromise from both people. There is no imbalance of power. Partners respect each other's independence, can make their own decisions without fear of retribution or retaliation, and share decisions. And good rationale. A rationale is when you are asked to give the reasoning or justification for an action or a choice you make. There is a focus on the why in a rationale. Why you choose to do something, study or focus on something. It is a set of statements of purpose and significance and often addresses a gap or a need. And being a curriculum change agent requires sensitivity. Sensitivity in education helps people to become more aware of, more sensitive to what happens as they react to one another. Intelligence. Intelligence is defined as the ability to learn from experience, solve problems, and use knowledge to adapt to new situations. And this is needed to the curriculum. Here in experience, so kailangan talagang pag-aralan muna kung ano ba talaga, kung may pagbabago ba, meron bang magandang naidulot sa mga bata ang curriculum or hiwala. Bago mag-implement ng bagong curriculum, dapat pag-aralan muna based on the previous experience. And skill. Skills may include things time management, budgeting, communication, problem solving, and critical thinking, and this is the needed in curriculum improvement. So there are 3 timely reminders given by Frymier-Hawn Approach. First is curriculum improvement. Curriculum improvement is a people problem. Why? Because people is so intimately and so extensively involved in improving curriculum. Typically, a curriculum design team will include subject matter experts. Example here is a faculty member, curriculum coordinator or director, curriculum oversight groups, instructional design and development specialist, and teaching facilitation personnel. An effective curriculum provides teachers, students, school leaders, and community stakeholders with a measurable plan and structure for delivering a quality education. The curriculum identifies the learning outcomes, standards, and core competencies, and students must demonstrate before advancing to the next level. Teachers play a role in developing, implementing, assessing, and modifying the curriculum. An evidence-based curriculum acts as a roadmap for teachers and students to follow on the path to academic success. Third is we live in changing times and new era. That's why the curriculum that we provide to young children in our schools must be improved. So we as a teacher, we maraming seminar, orientation ang ating naatenan. So, these seminars at orientation, pwede nating mai-apply sa ating four corner of our classroom.
Good day everyone, here is my report for EM212, Curriculum Planning and Development. My name is Christian D. Marquez and my topic is all about the framework under Frymier-Hawn Approach. The framework for improving the curriculum in a local school situation as suggested by Frymier and Hawn includes several elements. First element, consideration given to the importance of education. The purpose of education is not to save money but to help children learn. In other words, educational professionals working together in local districts must devise concepts and procedures for evaluating the programmatic activities in local schools. Evaluative data are essential if people in local schools hope to improve their educational programs, but data will have greatest utility and greatest impact if they concern teachers and students in their own schools. This emphasizes the importance of educational professionals working together in local districts to develop evaluation procedures to the educational programs in local school. It suggests that evaluative data are crucial for improving this program and that the data should be relevant and specific to the teachers and students in each school. Education is a social system. Did you know that? Education is a social system. Every effective social system reflects three phases of operation which accomplish separate functions that enable the system to maintain itself in a dynamic way. The phase 1, intellectual activities of planning, policy making, and hypothesizing. Phase 2, doing, accomplishing, and effecting. Phase 3, evaluating, assessing, reflecting, and judging. The phase 1 is crucial in ensuring that the educational system is well organized and aligned with the needs of students and society. During this phase, educators and policymakers engage in activities such as developing curriculum frameworks, setting educational standards, and establishing policies that govern the operation of schools and universities. This includes recruiting and training teachers, providing resources, and creating an environment that supports learning. The phase 2 is the doing, accomplishing, and effecting. This phase is focused on the actual implementation of the plans and policies developed in phase 1. During this phase, teachers and students engage in various activities such as teaching, learning, assessing, and evaluating. The ultimate goal of phase 2 is to achieve the desired student outcomes, which are foundation of successful educational system. Phase 3, evaluating, assessing, reflecting, and judging. This phase involves assessing, reflecting, and judging the effectiveness of the educational experience provided in Phase 2. This phase is crucial for identifying areas of strength and weakness within the system and making necessary improvements. The goal is to identify areas where improvements can enhance students' learning and achievement. Second is idea that is merely presuming. That is without careful evaluation that a national curriculum project is better than an existing or a locally devised program. Without testing, that presumption is a professional error of the most serious order. Presumption is a serious error in professional judgment when it's come to educational decision making. Without careful evaluation and testing of assumptions, implementing a national curriculum project over an existing or locally devised program can lead to ineffective teaching, practice, and student learning outcomes. The third is the concept of educational change. Educational change involves 4 stages according to Guba 1963: the research, development, diffusion, and adoption. The concept of educational change involves a continuous process of reviewing and improving educational practice to meet the changing needs of students and society. This process typically involves identifying areas for improvement, implementing new strategies or technologies, evaluating their effectiveness, and making necessary adjustments. It often involves a collaborative effort among educators, policymakers, parents, and community members to ensure that education remains relevant and effective in preparing students for the future. Research, development, diffusion, and adoption are the key concepts in the process of educational change, according to Guba 1963. Research, this stage involves gathering information and data about existing educational practice and identifying areas for improvements. This can involve surveys, interviews, focus groups, and other research methods. Second is the development. Based on the research findings, new strategies, technologies, or approaches are developed to address the identified areas for improvement. This can involve creating new curriculum or curricula, developing a new pedagogical techniques, or implementing new assessment methods. Diffusion. Once the new strategies or approaches have been developed, they are disseminated or diffused to the relevant stakeholders, such as educators, policymakers, parents, and students. This can involve workshops, training sessions, conferences, or other forms of professional development. The last is adoption. The final stage involves implementing the new strategies or approaches in practice. This can be a challenging stage as it requires buy-in and support from all stakeholders. Overall, the research, development, diffusion, adoption models provide a framework for understanding the complex process of educational change, ensuring that new strategies and approaches are effectively implemented to improve student outcomes. It has been suggested by Rogers 1962 that the adoption process itself has 5 separate stages: awareness, interest, evaluation, trial, and the last one is the adoption. The last element for the framework is the idea that there are certain concepts or principles which, taken together, constitute a basis for action, a foundation for curriculum improvement. By grounding curriculum development in a clear set of values, beliefs, educators can create more meaningful and effective learning experience for their students. For example, if a philosophy of life emphasizes personal growth and self-improvement, the curriculum might focus on developing critical thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, and communication competencies. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you learned some knowledge about the framework under the Frymier-Hawn Approach. That's all. Thank you everyone. God bless.
Good day everyone, especially to our professor, Ma'am Jacqueline Macahis. I am Jemuel Jandimapitan, reporting about the organizational scheme. First, organizational scheme is a plan of the organization which is called System for Curriculum. Curriculum change as suggested by Frymier-Hawn and Hawn. So, about here, the organizational school system curriculum, there was three parts of this. First is the assumption. Assumption means that refers to the basic purposes of the educational efforts in the areas involved. Next is the organization. Organization is each school shall have the group whose responsibilities shall be directed related improving the instructional program of a school. The major purpose of this organizational structure shall be to facilitate communication among the various persons concerned with the instructional programs in certain schools. Next is the functions. So what is the functions? Functions means the major purpose of each the various curriculum council shall be to improve instruction in the schools. Further, the general method of the operation shall be accomplished by means of the research. So that is the various curriculum councils established shall be derived to the scope of the instructional problems either by systematically and comprehensively reviewing the pertinent published research report or by the conducting experiment or the other type research project themselves or both. So that was the three organizational scheme of Frymier-Hawn. Now according to Frymier-Hawn, the organizational scheme is designed to give strength and power to the efforts to improve instruction for those concerned with supervision.
Good day to all, especially to our professor, Dr. Jacqueline. My name is April Joy E. Advincula. Together with my co-presenter, we're going to report our topic about the Frymier-Hawn Approach. The content of our topic is all about the aspects of the policy statement and the fundamental ideas underlying each concepts. First aspect. The policies are official. As of official policy, they carry board approval and board support. This means that the board is committed to examining recommendations and data which the Curriculum Council produces. As the policies are official, the board must examine in order to create recommendations and data, for it must be fitted to what is really needed in the curriculum. The second aspect, the statements of assumptions clarify the basic purpose of the educational effort and, at the same time, define general terms in the area involved. The statement of assumptions. This is the clarification of what really the purpose of the educational effort. It is made for better understanding of the purpose and also the general terms the area involved. Third aspect, the analysis of the organizational structure of the plan reveals several fundamental principles. there are 3 levels of operation: district council, area council, and the school. These councils should be organized. The district council, area council, and the school, those councils should be organized for a smooth operations. They should know their functions in the operation. Fourth, the area councils are the spirit and soul of this whole idea. They are considered the spirit and soul because they are the one who knew what is happening within the respected area. Fifth aspect. 2 important ideas are apparent in examining the third part of the organizational plan. The district is committed to improving instruction through research. Second, the purpose is simple. The district should conduct research for them to know where or what to improve in the curriculum or instruction. Having a plan for change must precede any major effort at curriculum change. Curriculum change is a crucial process in education. Having a well-thought plan is essential and must precede or come before any major effort at curriculum change. That will be all. Thank you for listening and watching. The continuation will be reported by my partner, Marisa Torres. Thank you.
A pleasant afternoon to each and everyone. I am Marisa Torres. My report is all about the aspects of the policy statement and the fundamental ideas underlying each concepts. And this is the continuation report of Ma'am April Joy at Vincula. The 7th aspect of the policy statement. A supervisor has a professional responsibility to relate to the superintendent as his administrative superior while working with him as an intellectual peer. This aspect suggests that the supervisor has a duty to acknowledge the superintendent as their administrative superior, meaning they should respect and follow the superintendent's authority and direction in matters related to management and decision-making. However, at the same time, the supervisor is expected to work with the superintendent as an intellectual peer, meaning they should engage in open and collaborative discussions, share ideas, and contribute to the decision-making process on an equal footing. 8th aspect, working with other supervisors is a matter of equal concern. This aspect implies that working collaboratively and effectively with other supervisors is as important as working with a superintendent. By working together as a team, supervisors can share ideas, resources, and best practices, which can lead to improved performance and outcomes for the organization as a whole. Therefore, it is essential for supervisors to communicate openly, cooperate, and support each other in their respective roles and responsibilities. The 9th aspect. How do the principals feel? Principals are people who hold the key to dramatic change. This statement suggests that school principals have a significant impact on the overall environment and culture of a school. They are seen as the leaders who can initiate and facilitate positive changes within the school system. From the word key to change, it implies that principals have the power, authority, and responsibility to make decisions that can lead to significant improvements in student outcomes, teacher performance, and overall school success. The statement suggests that principals play a crucial role in shaping the future of education, and that their actions can have a profound impact on the lives of students and the community they serve. 10th aspect. If he is working in a school system that has a large size, the supervisor may have some difficulty getting to know many teachers as the first year goes by. That's a valid concern. In a larger school system, it can be challenging for a supervisor to get to know all the teachers personally, especially if they are new to the role. However, there are ways to address this issue. The supervisor can schedule regular meetings with teachers, organize team-building activities, or create opportunities for teachers to share their experiences and expertise. Additionally, They can delegate tasks to assistant, supervisors, or mentors who can help build relationship with teachers and provide support. It's important for the supervisor to prioritize communication and collaboration to foster a positive and supportive work environment. 11th aspect, the plan calls for all principals to participate in curriculum councils at the area level. It means that a proposed plan or policy requires all school principals to be involved in decision-making processes related to curriculum development and implementation at the regional or district level. Curriculum councils are composed of educators, administrators, and other stakeholders who collaborate to determine the content and structure of the curriculum. By mandating principal participation in these councils, the plan aims to ensure that the perspective and needs of individual schools are taken into account when making decisions about what students should learn and how they should be taught. This level of involvement is intended to improve the quality of education and enhance student outcomes. And lastly, unless the supervisor moves slowly, step by step, some principal who may not fully comprehend the entire plan for curriculum change can feel threatened in the presence of teachers or parents. It means that if the supervisor or leader of the curriculum change initiative does not proceed cautiously and gradually, some principals may feel intimidated or unsure about the process due to their lack of understanding of the entire plan. The statement implies that it is important for supervisors to communicate effectively and provide adequate support and training to principals throughout the change process to ensure their buy-in and successful implementation of the new curriculum. And that's all from the Frymier-Hawn Approach. Once again, I am Marisa Torres. Thank you for listening.